everybody, it's Tynatter here, and I'm doing something completely different than the usual content that I'm usually doing on the channel. I will be doing a review on this convention that I went to, called Dokidonkon 2022. I was there for the full 3 days, and I had a lot of fun at this convention. There was quite a bit for you to do, and overall, it was just a good experience, good vibes, and everything. So I'll be talking about my experiences and my personal thoughts on it and everything else. So, one thing I should probably mention is that I am from Canada. So whenever I go to America, it's always a different experience for me because there's like in America they sell like different stuff that I can't get my hands on, and of course, we sell stuff here too, but we sell ketchup chips, and I don't like ketchup chips. But if you like ketchup chips, then I'm happy for you, and I hope like the next bag you open up is a very, very good bag of those ketchup chips and all that stuff. And yeah, but in America they sell fruit punch brisk. We have brisk in Canada. It's just we don't have fruit punch for some reason. It used to be sold here, but since then, yeah, hasn't been sold for like years on end. But so whenever I go to America, I usually get as many fruit punch brisk bottles as I can, and I have a bottle like right beside me actually. It's like delicious. But yeah, we have the lemonade, we have the iced tea, we have everything else you expect. We have no fruit punch, and honestly, it's quite sad. But anyway, besides that, um, I should probably point this out that I was gonna cosplay for this convention, but yeah, I it didn't come in time, so I guess I'll have to cosplay in the next convention, which we're going down to in a few months down the line. But other than that, the convention as a whole was really good. It's more smaller compared to, let's say, something like YumiCon, Anime North, or like KatsuCon, but it's still, quite big in what it can do. It has like a lot of stuff that helps provide for the 3 days that you're there, and all the other stuff. Speaking of cosplaying, actually, I did not see a single Rem or Ram cosplayer at this convention. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but there was not a single one there. So, yeah, that's just a little weird that I did not see one, but it's alright. Although it is weird in a way because the recent season of ReZero did come out and all that other stuff, but whatever. It's nothing too big, but honestly, it was just kind of like weird not seeing one because whenever I go to one, they're usually there. Also, I forgot to mention, but in case you're wondering what game I'm playing, it's Dot Hack GU, a very fun RPG, and I having fun with it so far. But anyway, so one last thing I should mention is I was going around in this convention and asking people for the worst anime that they've seen, and I got some very interesting results. I'll be doing a separate video on that entirely, so if you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned because it'll be quite the fun video. Opinions will be held high, hearts will be broken, and people will be triggered. I just want to give that a full disclosure right there, disclaimer. And yeah, so what this convention had going for it is it had all these team events. I went to one of them. I was meaning to go to more, but I'll get into that in a bit. I went to two panels, or at least I think one of them was a panel. I don't know. And I went to the vendor hall and I played in the game room. So, let's start off with the vendors. The vendors there was quite a good selection. They had all these artist vendors, which is quite nice. They made some like nice art and all that. One of them was actually making this creepy-esque art, which was kind of cool. I like that kind of like creepy aesthetic art right there. So, there was that. There was this one shelf was or one vendor, sorry, was selling a bunch of manga, so that was cool. And there's this one guy who was selling like these like like katanas and all that stuff. Like they were a doll, obviously, but like the people who make these are like it's just absolutely amazing how they're able to like replicate these kind of like designs on these like swords and all that stuff. It was honestly quite cool. But there's this one vendor that I was able to go to, and it was this guy sold like these old games and all that stuff, and he was selling this game called Rule of Rose. Now, Rule of Rose is actually a very obscure and rare horror game for the PS2. It's actually the rarest you can get your hands on, and an average copy can run around for about $288, but the lowest I've seen them go for is like 150. but they can also go around for 1,000 to 1,500. Now I believe this is the USD currency, so I don't exactly know the whole CDN kind of stuff here, but I was able to get my hands on a copy. It's right beside my Rachel Alucard figure, so there's that. But other than that, I participated in the Jack in the Box team event. I was on Team Green, and I was the first one up to play the murder mystery thing. And it asked a question, and this part kind of sucked, but like whatever. But it asked a question about which country produces the most coffee, and the right answer was Brazil. And I actually answered Brazil by complete guesswork. But the game registered me as wrong. I don't know why this is the case and all that stuff, but because of that, I got turned into a ghost. But oh well, doesn't really matter. I still had fun anyway. I still got to play the game when I was a ghost, but like still, it was just something that happened and all that stuff. But it's like whatever. But after that, I went to the game room, and the game room had quite a few stuff there. There were some Just Dance games going on. There's like two Wii's had Just Dance. One of them had Wii Sports Resort. There was a Cubert arcade machine, which is rather nice. I also saw some computers. I played on one of them on Friday night, and but they had this arcade cabinet that had all these different games on there. And what was interesting about this is this arcade cabinet had the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game, Heritage of Future, both the original and the sequel. So that was kind of cool. I sucked at the game, but I still had fun playing it, and that was nice because that's also another hard to get game as well. But even then, it was still cool. They also had this table arcade game of like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I believe, but I know it was some like fighting game. It was like you like look down on the arcade thing and it was there, so that was kind of cool. But other than that, that was just the thing right there. So, other than that, for the panels I went to the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure panel, and I had a lot of fun at this one. They made us play a bunch of games, like, which, is this a JoJo reference and all that stuff, and, like, all that, and, like, sorry, voice crack right there. Ay, ay, ay. I just woke up. But anyway, so what happened is they would put us in these, five like five people would go up and they would get a chance to like win prizes by guessing what kind of song was a JoJo reference. I actually got four of the five correct because I know my old music and I'm a rock person. So yeah, whenever you point to like old rock music to me, I'm gonna know instantly what this is a reference to. But other than that, I won like two stickers. The first sticker I won on the event right there, and then the next sticker I won was for the other round two of Name That Stand or whatever, JoJo reference, whatever. And funny thing is, I was gonna guess the Led Zeppelin one because I know about that one, but I thought it was number two, but it was actually the number three question. But I still got it right anyway on the number three, and I got my second sticker. I don't know where I'm gonna put these stickers, but I'm gonna put them somewhere. But other than that, yeah, I had a lot of fun at this JoJo panel. It was really interesting to see. They also had made us like crunchify our stands because Crunchyroll couldn't get the license to like all the original stand names and all that stuff. So, but yeah, it was honestly a really enjoyable event, and I really did like it. Now on to the main thing that this convention was really going to advertise for, and that was the Maid Cafe. I went to the one on Saturday, and they put us in this room, and they like sat us down at these tables, and they brought us like all these like games to play. My table had Uno. I didn't participate in the game, because I just didn't feel like playing, but I had a lot of fun here, and I ordered this like brownie, which I thought would be chocolate, but it was actually this like vanilla cake-esque brownie. But like it was still good. It was like honestly delicious. It had like this piece of fruit on it, I believe. It was like dried fruit of some kind. But overall, I did enjoy the brownie. If I had to give like my brownie scale, it'd be like a 10 out of 10. But yeah, the Maid Cafe had a pretty good atmosphere to it. Two people were actually performing. One of them sung Back in Militia from Yakuza, which was really nice. Really nice performance, and I was actually quietly singing it. I'm not a very good singer, so like, don't make me sing, please. It would like hurt your ears. But yeah, I had a fun time there. One did a dance. I forget what song they were dancing to, but they practiced it very well. They were able to do everything off by heart, so that was nice. I did enjoy that as well. So, but yeah, overall, The time at the Maid Cafe was honestly pretty good, and I really did like it. So, after that, the next event I'm going to go over is the Rave. The Rave played on Friday and Saturday night. I was there for both nights. There weren't a lot of people there on Friday, but there were a lot of people there on Saturday. So that was, quite fun. I don't really have a whole lot to say about the rave, as really it's just, music and dancing. If you like the aesthetic that raves have, then you'll feel right at home here. I'm not a really good dancer either, but apparently people like it when I do it anyway, so hey, well, I guess that's something. But yeah, that's really it. I wish I kind of played some more team events. There was tug of war, but I didn't really go to that one. And there was supposed to be dodgeball, but I don't know what ended up happening to that because it was actually pushed indoors for Friday because it rained that day, and then it got pushed to Saturday. But since then, I heard nothing more about the whole dodgeball event. But that's okay. I still had fun anyway. Other than that, they had like one guest appear. I think it was Sarah Wildenheft. I hope I said her last name right, but I know she was there. I know one other was supposed to be there too, but I forget her name at the time of me, recording this. But even then, it was unfortunate that she couldn't make it. But I know Sarah Wildenheft made it. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that last name. But yeah, I met her, got a little voiceover of her. But yeah, if you don't know what she's famous for, she was famous for voicing Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and a few other like voiceovers and all that stuff. But yeah, overall, that was basically the convention as a whole. Do I recommend going to Dokidonkon? Well, yes, I actually do. It's a small convention, like I mentioned before, but everything it was able to provide was just enough to keep you entertained for the full 3 days if you're there. Well, I mean, I will definitely be coming back next year if I can. And yeah, that's just my review of Dokidonkon. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I just love the general atmosphere for it. But that's gonna do it for this video right here. So I hope you liked what you saw, and I hope you have a nice day. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.